Hi, this is Terry LaPointe with Real News Spark, real news that sparks people to make a difference. And we are here today in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C., in the Senate building, Russell building, with this beautiful rotunda behind us. And we are here to talk about what we've been doing with some advocates with Family Forward Project and discussing defunding some bills that have caused financial incentive to take children. So with me I have Kathleen Arthur.
Hello, I'm Kathleen Arthur, and I'm working with Terry and another group of people this week, and we've really made a lot of good progress. And basically what we're doing is two things. A couple of years ago we were working on the Family First Act, and that did pass and was signed, but there was the Adoption and Safe Family Act was put on hold, and it's been pretty much on hold ever since, pending more study and that sort of thing. And originally with the Wyden team, it was actually supposed to have been defunded. Okay, so what we did was we've come back and we formed another group. We're going to try to what we did was we were able, as a citizen group, able to defund Title 4E, which is the foster care group homes. The reason that it was important to defund the foster care group homes is that of all of the money yearly that goes to foster care, which is $10 billion, $9 billion of it was going to foster care group homes, and the foster care group homes were producing 88% of America's prostitutes. The FBI has taken studies from about 7 years ago. They started taking this data, and contrary to most opinions, most of the prostitution trade from America are homegrown, and the great percentage of them are coming from our group homes, which are funded by Title 4E dollars. So we have essentially shut down a government-sponsored largest brothel in the world by passing the Family First Act. So that part of it is done. The unregulated group homes, where we have no idea how many children are in there, they will not tell us, and we do know that they're primarily are sex trafficking because of the other end of it when the FBI is arresting them. So it was Hatch's brilliance. He thought, gee whiz, we should just defund a bad program with bad outcomes. Imagine that. So we're taking Hatch is now retired, but we're taking his playbook and we're trying to apply it to two other federal programs, Title 4D and the ASFA program. So I'll start with the ASFA. The ASFA was part of the Title 4E program that was put on hold. And what it is the Adoption and Safe Family Act. And what that is, it's a bonus of $5,000 to $10,000 per child, but only children who qualify for welfare. They have to qualify for Title 4E. $5,000 to $10,000 per child of children who are poor, who the social workers are able to take out of their homes and adopt to strangers. This bonus was not given if the children were adopted out to aunts, uncles, family members, that sort of thing. It had to be a stranger. And this was meant to be a good thing to kind of clear the blocks of the children, but what has happened is that the social workers are now concentrating primarily on obtaining children who qualify for this bonus because they need the money to keep their office open. I mean, literally, their office funds are tied to a head count, how many children they bring in the home. That is how it is calculated. It would be just so simple if they would just do it per capita instead of per head count, so that when the child population starts going low in the office, they don't have to go out and start hunting for children. So anyway, that has been taken. The ASFA part was put on hold, and so we're working with Wyden's team to go ahead and get that out through Senate Bill 1376. And then the Family First Act Look Back Bill. And so what we're also trying to do is we're also trying to defund Title 4D. And what Title 4D is, all it is a government-run, very inefficient collection agency where one parent ends up in jail all the time. It's very ineffective. The mom or the recipient of the money only gets 10 cents on the dollar of what is given by the original person, because it's all eaten up for prisons and the lawyers and all of the administration stuff. So the machine is eating the money that is being given to it by citizens, and then the citizens at the other end are not receiving it. We've got much better ways to do it, such as mortgages. mortgages have way greater than 90 cents on the dollar of a return, and nobody goes to jail. So we just need to defund this program. It's a bad program. It has no good outcomes that can be proven anywhere. It does not collect the money well, and we're spending money to collect money is what we're really doing, so we just need to defund that program. Could you imagine Washington, D.C. defunding a federal program? That would be the first time ever they saved us money. And that's actually going over pretty well with all of the budget stuff. So yesterday, real quick, two people that are key senators, in order to make these two things fly, we would almost have to do the impossible. We would have to have Senator Wyden on board for the Family First Act. That's the ASFA part. And that's already being done, so that's okay. The second part, though, the Title IV-D defunding is kind of a new concept, and we would need to have the chair of the Appropriations Committee on board for it. So yesterday, when we came on into the Senate, we came into the coffee shop, and Senator Shelby came on out, and Miss Terry said, "Hello, y'all." We had an instant friend. So we got to talk to him about it, and he went from saying, "Boy, why should I get rid of Title IV-D? I wrote that bill," to, "Oh my God, I can't believe how inefficient it is." And so Terry was able to get an appointment, and Kyle was able to get an appointment to talk about both ASFA and Title IV-D the same day. So I think we've got him on board. So we've made amazing progress, and I'm having a little hot flash, so I'm going to go. Bye.
So, okay, and one of the things that we've been handing out to the Congress people that we've been talking to senators, is some things about ASFA and the Child Protective Services system as a whole, because that system, the ASFA, provides large amounts of these federal dollars to the states, and it incentivizes the adoption of children from foster care. And as Kathleen said, the bonuses are only released when children are adopted by strangers, not by family members. This creates a situation where there's a financial motivation to place children with strangers instead of relatives, with the ultimate goal of adopting them out. Now, there was some very interesting data that I found in my research. According to the federal AFCARS report by the U.S. Department of Human Services, less than 16% of children taken from their homes are taken for reasons of any kind of abuse. Less than 16%. The rest is neglect, or some things that can be very ambiguously defined. It could be simply poverty, simply someone who needs financial help. Okay, however, children in foster care, and you've heard me say this many, many times, the data is very clear that children in foster care are at least 6 times more likely to be abused, molested, raped, or killed in foster care than they would be if they are left in their own homes, even if that home is considered a troubled home. However, only 17% of allegations against parents nationally are substantiated or indicated, and that is according to the Children's Bureau Child Maltreatment Report. Now, the one that I have used, the figure of it's actually 17.2% that came from the 2016 report. I went in order to come to Washington, D.C., I looked at the most recent, the 2017 report that has been released, and it's now 17.0% of the allegations that are substantiated. So we have even fewer of the allegations against parents that are being substantiated today than there were before. So less of them are actually substantiated. And as parents are well aware, it doesn't take much to substantiate allegations. Many times it is a social worker who's deciding, yes, this is substantiated. It can be based on lies. It can be based on false information. It can be based on information that ignores the exonerating evidence. It doesn't take a lot to substantiate these allegations. However, only 17% of them nationally are substantiated. Even so, and this is what is a shocking figure, and I want you to wrap your brains around this. I don't know if you can. I really can't, actually. 23% of the children who are taken from their families leave the system because they are adopted by strangers. 17% of the allegations are substantiated, only 17%. Yet 23% of these children leave the system simply because they are adopted by strangers. This does not count those who are adopted by family. There's something very wrong with that number. Because of the financial incentives involved, almost 4 out of every 10 children will experience some kind of CPS investigation at some point in their childhood, according to a study by the American Journal of Public Health. It's the number is even higher if you are African American. This is one place where I believe that the racial divide is very much present, because 53% of African American children will experience some kind of a CPS investigation by the time they reach 18 years old. So it is proportionately more African Americans. Don't forget, though, blonde-haired, blue-eyed children tend to be the most investigated. And it has been shocking to me over the years when I find out, when I'm just talking with a family and I find out in the course of the conversation, in the course of the investigation, that the children are blonde hair, blue eyes. It is shocking to see how often that happens. And this goes back to what Kathleen was talking about with the human trafficking and the sex trafficking that is going on. So because of the federal financial incentives, this subjects many American children to unnecessary trauma and unnecessary separation from loving families. And this is what we have been telling senators over the past couple of days, and we're planning to have people coming back over the next few months and talking to more and more senators. I know that through the Family Forward Project, you can go find that group on Facebook. Through the Family Forward Project, they're collecting people's stories. If you've got a story where your child or children have been unjustly taken, you can get your story told in just a one-page synopsis. And I understand that your stories are very long and have many layers and many facets of it, but try to condense it down to a page and send that in to Sarah Carter, and we'll get that link. If somebody's got the link, the information, will post this with this story to get these stories sent in so that we can have them the next time a team comes to Washington, D.C. And we thank you for watching, and we thank you for those who have prayed for the team, and we ask you to keep on praying. Guys, the tide is turning. I know that it's hard to believe that. I know that it may seem difficult to believe that anything could change, but I firmly believe that the tide is turning, because justice is what America was founded upon. I'm here in the nation's capital of America, the land of the free and home of the brave. I believe justice is what we are supposed to be about as a nation, and I believe that we will see it again. Do not stop. Don't give up. Keep fighting. Keep praying. Keep calling legislators, contacting them, telling your stories. Don't stop. And this is Real News Spark. We are signing off. Have a great day.